I wasn't planning to make this video, but we're here now. And I'm just establishing myself as even more of a piece of LIPHLICH trash. But here we are, new music from my favorite band, and we're going to discuss it together. Didn't want to do this. I was like, no, I'm beyond being a crazy fangirl. I'm done with this. I just like the band and I listen to them a lot, but I don't have to discuss them and their new music. And yet I heard it this morning and I felt the need to make a video about it because it's so good. Anyway, so today we're going to have a little chat about LIPHLICH's newest single, because apparently I'm still LIPHLICH trash. So earlier this week, they posted a picture of just a date and a time and a webpage, which is their website. And it was wonderfully mysterious, and that's kind of something that I expect from this band. I feel like they don't often just make announcements, like they have to do a build-up to the announcements, because they're extra, and that's what I love about them. So a couple days ago on Twitter, they posted just like this mysterious picture of like a smoky train, and they just were like, this time, at this day, and this place. And I was like, okay, cool beans. I live in North America, so I had to do what all responsible, well-adjusted adults do, and I had to calculate what time that was in Central Time, which is where I'm living, and then immediately set an alarm to remind myself to go to that website at that time. So I spent my Saturday morning waking up at 5:45 this morning so I can roll over and click on the webpage and see that it was an announcement for a Nico Nico live video, or whatever live broadcast type deal. And then maybe 15 minutes before the live stream, someone posted this link of like music, and it's banned. So someone posted this link where you could stream the new music, and so before the live stream even started, you could listen to the new EP, which that's what the big announcement was. Is they did the live stream and then they showed some footage of playing live. And then they announced the new EP situation, which was not a big surprise because they've been posting on Twitter that they were making new music, and I was super excited about it. And I think even a month or two ago they announced what the title was. And so my big news, thing I'm most excited about, is the fact that this is available on North American iTunes. Now, I am trash, so I basically have their entire discography already. This is just the display CDs. So, but it always kind of makes me a little bit sad, because when I'm buying new music on iTunes in America, LIPHLICH is never, I'll put them in the search bar, because even though I have a lot of music, there's still some music from them that I just don't have, if I didn't buy the correct version of a single or something. And I don't like wasting money buying 4 different versions of the same single just to get 1 or 2 extra songs. So anyway, I always check, just to see, oh, here's a song that I haven't heard yet, blah, 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 blah. So anyway. So on this link that I went to, they actually had a link to Spotify, YouTube Music, and iTunes. And I was like, ooh, can I actually get music on iTunes? Because gearing up to this, I was basically prepared to use a shopping service if I could. But anyway, so to the music itself. So I have it here downloaded because I had the ability to, and I'm very excited about it. Okay, so the English version, if you are living in North America, or I guess in America specifically, then the EP is called Keren Locomotive, and I think they just translated that from Japanese. So there are 4 songs on it. So there's Keren-Locomotive, and then you have Waltz for Recital, Papi Poupe Parade, and Zephyr. So I think that's how you pronounce that word. I've only ever read it. I've never heard it. Zephyr. We're going to say Zephyr. So anyway, so those are the 4 songs, and I was playing Animal Crossing, and I put this on my phone, and I plugged in my headphones, and while I was fishing in Animal Crossing, and I tell you, I lasted maybe 5 seconds before I just had to put down the Switch and listen to the music, because it was so good, and it just threw me into this weird place. I don't know if it was just the euphoria of finally getting music from my favorite band after so much time, or if it was, the music itself, I don't know. It was just so good. So it started with the Locomotive song, Keren Locomotive. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's the quintessential thing of why I like this band so much, where at first you might think it sounds a little bit disjointed and kind of off kilter for a rock band, but it works, and I don't know what it is. Like, to me, when I was listening to it, I literally closed my eyes and I threw my head back and I imagined, like, I could listen to the song and I could imagine a scenario in my head. And so it was almost like when you're reading a book and you can like imagine what's going on in the book in your head. That was with me, but with this song. My voice is cracking. I have not talked this much in a very long time because I live alone and we're in quarantine. So I don't know. It's just this song just took me to an entirely different place in my mind, and it was really, really fun. And even though it was kind of disjointed at places, like, it was so entertaining, and it took me to like a different time and a different place, and I could imagine myself being on a train because of the sound effects, and it's reminded me of like a theater, like a musical number, like from a theater production. And that's kind of what I liked about it, is because it was a story. It was a song, but it also felt like it was telling a story in my brain. It was so good, and I love this band. So Waltz for Recital. I don't know if that's actually the second one listed on the EP because my phone doesn't put albums in order for some reason. I don't know why. It makes me mad. But next I'm going to talk about is Waltz for Recital. So this one kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's like the moodier, darker piece of the album, but it starts with like strings and drums, and it's so good. And I think this one actually goes into like a heavier like song, and it's so good. Like, I can imagine myself just driving, listening to this, and just being like in a hecking cool place, you know. And it's so good. Now, this does kind of remind me of some previous songs that LIPHLICH has put out. It has a very similar style to some previous songs that I can't remember the name of. But I feel like I've heard this kind of tone of song from them before. But I'm just in love with Kuga's voice. So anything that he sings just sounds amazing, and I can just like, I feel like I can feel it in my soul. I know I sound like a crazy fangirl when I say that. I'm aware. I am self-aware. But it's just so... It's so good. It's all, I can't stop saying that. It's a very, very good song, and it melds well together with the previous songs in the album EP. Okay, Zephyr. I don't know what order this is in officially in the EP because my phone doesn't put things in order, but oh my god, Zephyr is groovy as heck. Let me tell you, it's so much fun. So Zephyr is funky and fresh. No, it's funky and it's good and it's fun, and it's the moment when I realized that even though they have a new member in the band, by like listening to it with headphones and really hearing the bass, I feel like he melded well together with the rest of the band. Now, that's not saying that I'm like, yeah, screw what that or whatever, but I realized that like while listening to this that he was a good fit for the band, and I respect that, and I'm looking forward to one day eventually being able to see them all play live together. So by hearing like the funky grooves in the song Zephyr, it made me think, okay, well, I like this lineup going forward. So Puppy Poupée Parade. It's a bop. Okay, it's bouncy and it's fun, and it has a throwback to like Manic Pixie and with like the whistle and stuff, but it's also like bouncy, and it's another one that I feel like could also, it takes elements from like theater and show tunes and stuff, and that's something that I just really like about LIPHLICH. And what they do is it's not just like, hey, we're a bunch of dudes on stage playing really heavy, screamy music. To me, it's more melodic and it's more theatrical, and that's what makes it interesting to me because, you know, there's so many bands that will do that. They'll sit on stage, and they're very good bands. Musically, they're very good. And I'm not going to hark on that because that I also listen to music like that. But for me, the thing that stands out the most about LIPHLICH is the performative side of it, where they take elements of theater, but also they take like, you know, what's the word I'm thinking? Like, they'll pull rhythms and from string, so they'll pull elements from theater, and it's just, and cabaret songs, and it's just fun, and it's funky, and it's jazzy, and it's just fun. That's all, the only way I can put it is it's different and it's fun. And it's exciting to listen to because it's never the same thing twice. Or even if like sometimes you do get some elements pulled in, you can recognize, be like, oh hey, wait, that's from Manic Pixie that they did like 5 years ago or whatever. So I don't know, it's fun that they hide little Easter eggs of their own music within their music, but it's not like they're copying old music. It's like, if you're a fan for a long time, you can recognize those elements, and that's fun for you. I don't know. A lot of people might think it sounds ridiculous to have a song titled that, and just a lot of people won't connect with the bouncy theatrical fun of some of the music, but for me, I love that because I was actually a crazy musical nerd as a kid, and I think that's one of the reasons why I like this band so much. But yeah, Puppy Poopy Parade, Puppy Poopy Parade, Puppy Poopy Parade. That one's hard. So, oh my god, I'm just so happy because we got new music from LIPHLICH, and I'm so happy because I love this band so much. Anyway, and the best part is that this EP, for the first time, as far as I know, is available on North American iTunes. So at least when I checked, now I have seen some other posts and things, but maybe if you're in different countries, you can get more music. I think that I saw some tweets like other, I don't know, like they had other albums available to purchase on the iTunes store. But for me, when I checked this morning, as of I think maybe like 11:30 this morning, last time I had my computer on and I checked, only Karen Locomotive was available under LIPHLICH's official artist name. So maybe that'll expand more in the future. I mean, fortunately, it doesn't really affect me because I have so many albums physically anyway, but I think that by adding more music to be available to purchase on iTunes, like how a lot of other bands are doing, I think that would be super great, and I hope that LIPHLICH never actually watches this video, but if they do, I mean, you could always make more music available to North American iTunes because I like to get my friends addicted to it, and actually I got a couple of my friends already addicted to it, but they would also like to have access to the music where they can pay you instead of having to illegally download it. So I super recommend. Now keep in mind I am 100% biased because I love this band and I've seen them like 15 or more times live in the 3 years that I was living in Japan, and I have purchased quite a lot of their things, and you know, I've done story times about them. Like, I am not an unbiased person, but as a fan, a big fan, I can tell you that I was not disappointed. And if you're a fan of the previous lineup of members, it's just as good as it was before, in my opinion. If you're expecting that LIPHLICH flair, it's definitely here. So anyway, I've ranted long enough. This is going to suck to edit, but please, if this sounds interesting to you, please get the EP. It's so good, and it just has that fun flair of LIPHLICH in it. But anyway, I'm going to go, and if you get it, happy listening, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. So, Poupée, I cannot say the song title. Puppy Poupée Parade. Okay,